Yeah, of course we're happy with the performance, but it doesn't matter so much. We came here to win tonight and to get through to the next round, and unfortunately we fell short.
You started the game amazingly, obviously your goal after 28 seconds, but it was the team as a whole, everyone was crunching into tackles, the fans were really up for it as well. It felt like everybody was up for it tonight.
Yeah, of course, it's a massive game for us. It meant so much to us players and the fans and the whole club, so we definitely left it all out there on the pitch, and like I said, we unfortunately just didn't have enough in the end.
It was a huge spectacle tonight, a Champions League knockout fixture, Madrid derby, huge stadium, great atmosphere. Are nights like these why you came to Atletico Madrid?
Yeah, definitely. To play games like this is really special. Of course, it would have been a lot nicer if we got through, but it's something we can all learn from and take that experience and take it into our next games and our next season in the competition.
Oh, you've got a feel for Conor Gallagher because he had such a brilliant start to the game, played well, did his bit, and we will come on to the part he played in the match a little bit later, but somehow, once again, Real Madrid, they always seem to find a way, Owen. How'd they do it tonight?
Only they know. Honestly, they didn't really play great today. I think the only person who played great was Courtois in goal. Other than that, everybody was quiet. Vinny Jr. was quiet. Mbappe was pretty quiet. Rodrigo was quiet. Jude Bellingham was pretty quiet. But they found a way. They hang in there. And I think Atletico started the game brilliant. Conor Gallagher was probably the best player in the first half. But they needed a second goal. And they had chances, but Courtois kept them out. But they can hang in there. They can not play great. And they're pretty cool with it, Real Madrid. Carlos cool with it, and he's just chilling on the side. He knows the guys will find solutions. And today it was goalkeeper who won it for them. But you're not going to want to play them. Real Madrid is just like the worst team you can play in a knockout game. They don't even have to play well and they get through. It's absolutely remarkable.
Must be so frustrating for any team facing them.
It is. I mean, Atletico Madrid tonight have denied so many opportunities. How many chances did Real Madrid really, really have tonight? They limited them so much. And obviously then to come short, as you mentioned, but they just find a way. They absolutely find a way every time.
And this time in the penalty shootout, went all the way, extra time, to penalties. And it was a controversial moment that was pretty much decisive in it. Now, when you watched this initially, we didn't see this.
Well, you can't really. I mean, you can barely. I mean, he slips ever so slightly. But obviously, I think it took over a minute.
A minute and 9 seconds.
A minute and 9 seconds with VAR to decide that. But you don't really want to, I don't think you really want to see games decided by that. Then Llorente misses just after that. I mean, heartbreak. At Atletico Madrid Stadium, then Rudiger steps up. Not a great pen, but again, finds a way and gets past Oblak, and they celebrate. Vinny Jr. was on the bench at that time.
Should he have saved that?
He probably should have, yeah. But can't believe it for Diego Simeone. They had such a good game plan. Felt like he started the game perfectly. Needed that second goal, but these guys, they just don't go away. They just don't go away. It's quite remarkable how they can hang in there, not panic. And they end up winning these games. You could argue now they're probably favourites to go and do it again.
Julian Alvarez's penalty being disallowed in the shootout, Karen, it just feels cruel, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I was literally going to say the word cruel. You get so far to get to penalty shootouts. You've done the 90 minutes, you've done the extra time, and you get to that point, and it's that moment. But unfortunately, that's the rules. It is cruel, it is harsh, and you're even thinking it would have gone in anyway because it was the direction it was going. But unfortunately, that's the rules.
So you mentioned Conor Gallagher, best player on the pitch, certainly in the first half. And what a start it was to the game, and what a moment this was for him to score inside 30 seconds.
Yeah, long ball from long line. Senzio clears it. They win that second ball. Gallagher plays it out wide, and then he gets into the box. He started on that left, but he came inside. That's really important for anyone when you play on the other side. When the ball's out wide, get in the box, and they do that brilliantly. 20 odd seconds into the game. But they're trying to score. They obviously needed a goal, one goal behind, and that's brilliant for him. He just gambles. He just has a feel for it. He knows it's going to come. Gets ahead of Valverde, who can't do anything, and a brilliant start. And to be fair, with and without the ball, Conor Gallagher, he was brilliant in that first half. He just didn't see much of the ball in that second half when Real Madrid dominated.
And this just shows some of the stuff that he did really well in the game.
Yeah, we mentioned, obviously, that, I mean, that's a lovely pass, and obviously he got his goal tonight, but this is what I liked about him. You think about how many opportunities Vinicius Junior or Rodrigo had compared to the first half of last week's game. It's night and day, and it's because of him. He drops back into these positions, drops back into a back five, screens in front, and it's all the dirty work that nobody else really wants to do, and you have to do it. It's like things like this, and that's what keeps the best players quiet. But he was exceptional tonight, and you can see why Simeone absolutely loves him and has gone after him and wants him in his team and played him tonight.
We were watching this match together and we were talking about the fact that Mbappe and Vinicius Junior didn't really show much of a spark. The one time Mbappe did, he wins a penalty. And then Vinicius Junior, when he steps up to take it, you expect it to go in the back of the net, Owen.
You do, but it was, Jules, it was the one time they got a bit of space. Atletico Madrid, because they scored early, they had 9 back pretty much all the time. There was no space, even for the best in the world. Bit of space, and Mbappe manoeuvres it beautifully. Goes right, goes left. Longley brings him down with a little bit of a rugby tackle. And then you think, Vinny Jr., you know, is it going to be Mbappe? Is it going to be Vinny Jr.? I mean, he misses that by a country mile. Yeah, and he had a quiet game. Credit Llorente, he played terrific. He misses it by a mile, and he wasn't at his best. And then obviously because he missed that, he came off an extra time, probably protecting him. Ancelotti, he's a player's manager. But you see Jude there just saying, come on, you know, we got lots of time, but you just don't expect him to miss the form that he's been in this year.
As a player, are you wanting to stay on the pitch, to take a penalty, just to correct the error you made in the game?
Yeah, he's one of the best. He wouldn't want to go off, but obviously Carlo probably wants to protect him a little bit and bring somebody else on. It was a surprise, but in the end, Carlo, he always gets it right, doesn't he? You know, he got it right again.
Let's get some reaction from Real Madrid now. Let's hear from Jude Bellingham, who's talking to Phil.
Jude, congratulations. You must be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, we're really happy. Obviously, it's a huge game for us to win, coming here, well, win, losing and drawing at the same time. But it's, massive for us, so important to get through at this stage, obviously, and who we're playing against as well. I know it will mean a lot to the fans. It's a really nice night.
This felt like a proper Real Madrid in the Champions League performance. Somehow we get it done.
Yeah. That's sometimes what it takes, you know, those moments of kind of composure, of poise. You know, it's not always the mad quality that you see sometimes from us, but, you know, I think there is that change of mentality when we come into these games, that we know that there's a certain way of winning games, and we're very good at that. We understand game and game situations really well and how to manage through them. So tonight was another example of that.
It's been a mixed bag for the team in terms of penalties this season, but tonight went better in the penalty shootout.
Yeah, it was obviously Vinny's. We have so much confidence with him taking them. Obviously, taken so many important ones before and scored them. So him missing, really, I don't think we'll really care too much about that. He helps us in so many other ways, won us so many games with big moments just like that. So it's one of those things that can happen. And then in the shootout, you know, again, pretty composed overall. Thibaut got close to a load of them. So, yeah, when we went into that situation, I think all you can really do is focus on your own penalty. But, yeah, there's half of your mind that is thinking, you know, looking to the people next to you, knowing that they've got your back and knowing that they'll do the business as well. So, yeah, pleased.
Performance tonight, but still finding a way to get through. They always seem to do that in this competition. What did you make of Jude Bellingham's performance tonight overall?
He looked probably a little bit frustrated. You know, he probably didn't. I think it's really hard when a team defends with 9 people. There isn't really space. They just sat in, didn't really make those forward runs or forward passes. So he had a quiet game, but again, Vinny Jr. was quiet, Rodrigo was quiet, Mbappe was quiet. And that's a credit really to Atletico Madrid. But in the end, you don't care how you play, Jules. As long as you get to the next round. I think Maka said it in commentary, if you go out at this stage as a Real Madrid player, that's a disaster. But if they can find a way to, you know, to win this and potentially win La Liga, I mean, that title race with Barcelona, Atletico is amazing in itself, but that's a minimum to get into the next round. And I think Jude, he won't care how we played. You know, they got into the next round and they have a chance to go win it again like they did last year.
Arsenal next. The only time Real Madrid and Arsenal faced each other in the Champions League was in the 2005-06 season, which Arsenal fans will remember was a very good one because they beat Real Madrid that time round, Karen. Can they do it again with this team without a striker?
It's so hard, isn't it? I don't know, upset all the Arsenal fans, but Look, they're certainly the underdogs. It's certainly more than ever. We know how defensively Arsenal have been good over the last 2 seasons. They're going to have to be at the absolute best. It'll be very difficult to try and stop them. So again, I'm going to have to back Real Madrid, but I think they'll give them a good run for their money defensively, like Atletico have done tonight. But I still think Madrid are too good, too much individual quality to not see them through.
I know Real Madrid got through tonight, Owen, but looking at the performance and the way they played tonight, surely Arsenal must take some confidence going into that game. You never know, they might see Real Madrid on an off day.
Yeah, but they have to take their chances. The one thing you would say is Arsenal's defence is amazing, you know, and obviously Alvarez has been terrific. So you just wonder do you maybe sit in a little bit more and defend really well and hit him on the counter, but you need somebody at the top of the pitch to take your chances. You just feel, no Kai Havertz, no Bukayo Saka. It's such a shame, really, you know, because they've worked so hard and they probably need a couple of bodies. You look what Real has at the top of the pitch, you know, and the opportunities they have to change it. So Mikel will come up with a game plan, but they're I think they can do it, but I just hope they sit in a little bit more and hit them on the counter. Don't play open. If you play open, Real Madrid will beat you.
They've been good, like as you mentioned, defensively and set pieces. And like what Jude said there, hook or by crook, if you can find a way for Arsenal, sit in, be defensively solid and nick a set piece, what they've been great on for, like I said, 2 seasons, that might be their way.
And these are our scores from this evening. So, as we mentioned, Dortmund 2-1 against Lille, 1-3-2 on aggregate overall. Villa, 3 second-half goals meant that Club Brugge went limping out of the competition. 6-1 was how that one ended. Atleti, 1-0 against Real Madrid, but it went all the way to penalties. Real Madrid finally winning that one 4-2. And Arsenal, 9-3 on aggregate against PSV. I don't know where to start. I suppose we better go back to the beginning, which feels like a long time ago, doesn't it, between Atletico Madrid and Real. That goal in the 27th second that caught us completely off guard, playing a big part into tonight's game, Didier.
Yeah, that was the best scenario for Atletico. It was maybe the same scenario as Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool yesterday. But it wasn't the 12th minute, it was the first minute. And sometimes I feel that it's good to be a little bit more direct, you know, just to not to go in the midfield and to find, you know, those spaces in behind. And that's what they did. Look at that long ball. They're already in trouble. Look at the midfield of Real Madrid. They didn't react. There's all of a sudden there's 5 players at Atletico, good on the side, and then you need people in the box, in and around, and they've got people, and that's why they have more chance to score. And it was Gallagher, so it was well done from
surprising. Surprising to see the midfield of Madrid who are gone for the pressing, and that verticality ball forward have allowed really Atletico to get a real chance.
But sometimes it's like the last World Cup in Qatar. You know, there was so many times, you know, you see those long balls and then people they've got speed, so that's another weapon, yeah.
Yeah, we see it a lot now. Clubs scoring that early on, don't we? Right, this is the incident that will be talked about, I'm sure, in the post-match analysis all over the world. Should this have been a red card? Lenglet's tackle on Mbappe, which was awarded a penalty and a yellow. However, the rules say that if the player is not going for the ball and not attempting to make contact with the ball, which Lenglet doesn't, clearly goes for the man, it should be a red card. So arguably Atleti should have been down to 10 men here.
And as well is the position of the foul. If he's outside of the box, maybe on the side, it's not dangerous for Atleti, and maybe a yellow will be fair. But now he was going to score a goal, maybe he has a big chance, and now that's penalty.
What about that from Vinny Jr.? Where did that
Just
come from?
incredible.
What did he do wrong, Marcel?
Was a little bit wondering why Mbappe did not take it, first of all, but this was an important one, full concentration, and he missed.
Well, here we are, penalty shootout. Mbappe steps up. Cool as a cucumber in that instant, huh?
Yeah. Remember, like 5-6 years ago, it was always the best players who shoot at the end. Now, the last 3-4 years, you know, you could see that they want to secure, they want to be on the better dynamic.
Doesn't that make sense, though?
That makes sense, yeah. So you see Mbappe, then Bellingham, And at the end, Rudiger.
At the end, you end up having Rudiger,
who was a little bit luckier. But this one was a controversial. Because I don't see any double contact. That's the thing, you know.
Find us an angle where we see that he's touching it twice.
I don't see it. As a naked eye, I don't know. Even there. Or maybe... No.
The ball doesn't move. The ball doesn't move.
No, please.
A little at the end, but it's to put it's like a VAR on the penalty shoutout is quite bizarre.
But should we have all these camera angles dissecting a moment that is so simple? If all of us, I don't think those in the stadium complain. I'm sure the players, the Real Madrid players, I don't think they objected.
No,
this is slow motion, huh? So how can you see it in real time?
But you know what? The more you look, the more you will find. But there is nothing there. There's nothing clear here.
This is the idea of the one who is behind the camera to say, I've done the job. I've done the job. Look, it was not really necessary, but I've showed that, yes, we are here. Look, it's technology.
No, but you're not sure, you know, you should...
Yeah.
The advantage should be for the
And I think all the players, they accepted the goal of Alvarez, so you should have gone, okay, that's fine, in a way. Because now how you can go back to a VAR in a penalty shootout, this is what makes me feel like it's a bit controversial.
Feels like it's the one area where VAR should just chill out a bit, step back, let the referee do his thing.
Yeah.
That from Llorente. What did he do? Was it too quick? Where he stepped up, didn't give himself a beat there?
This is really important what you say, Nikki. There is in penalties, you know, when you start first, you have more chances to win. And as well, you know, when you take your time, you have more chances as well just to score. Maybe it was in too much rush, Mr. Llorente, yeah.
Too precise, too much in the corner, in the angle.
Yeah.
You know, then you take the risk.
Well, before this, Atletico had won 3 out of 4 penalty shootouts in the Champions League. They last lost against Real Madrid in the final in 2016. They've had a great run since then in shootouts, but it is Madrid again who leave them unstuck. Carlo Ancelotti in his 75th Champions League game as Real Madrid manager into the quarters again. Looking forward to that one against Arsenal. So it's Real Madrid away at Arsenal first. Let's have a look at Arsenal and how they got on against PSV. They would have received the news that the ball had been touched twice.
So we were in the ignorance of that. Now we are more comfortable.
Are we though?
To know that.
Do you feel more? Do you think Alvarez? Do you think Atleti feel more comfortable?
No, for me, even if it's like that, it's going to be a poor to win like this for Real Madrid in a way, because it's a slight touch, even not visible with the eye. You have to stop foul or things like that when you can really see it. In slow motion, we cannot see it. So, okay, the technology helped. It's very nice, and the VAR helped a lot in this case, but this is a bit too much, I believe.
This is modern football.
Yes.
Is it taking the spirit out of it a little bit, Marcel?
A little bit, I would say it, yeah, a little bit. But at the end of the day, you know, sometimes we benefit, sometimes, you know, it goes against the old spirit that we have, especially my generation. But it's okay. Let's agree that we are moving forward for good.
Yes, and Real Madrid fans can potentially put these refereeing conspiracy theories to bed for a weekend, for the week.
Are we going to hear them today?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, we wonder.
It's like Mikel, you know,
Twitter's
today,
very quiet.
About Sterling. I didn't see it.
Yeah. That was an erratic challenge. That was a bad one, wasn't it? All right, well, let's have a look at
tonight's game. Well, I think we started well, scored the goal. We were ahead twice, and unfortunately we didn't manage to win the game. You could see in the second half that we looked tired, we were late for a few things. I looked a bit of cohesion. It's true that we make so many changes, and you expect that to happen. We're all very happy because we are where we want to be.
Yeah, qualification is obviously the most important thing. Do you learn something as a manager with all the changes that you have to make or want to make?
Well, because we played a lot of games. We're going to play a lot of games. Those players are going to have international football as well, and there was some players that they deserve some football as well, because they are a big part of us. So I'm very happy that I give them the chance.
Yeah, a goal for Zinchenko, 2 assists for Raheem. These things are all nice for a manager, but of course Raheem also now picks up the yellow card and can't play the first leg of the quarter-final.
Yeah, that's a shame. Obviously, he's not going to be available for the weekend as well, but very good for Alex as well, and some individuals that haven't played that many minutes, so really happy.
Some frustrations about the manner of the 2 goals conceded. There's some gaps at the back.
Yeah, no. It was a lot of things to improve.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of the coach. You don't know who you'll play yet. I'm sure you'll be told as soon as we are.
Watching now. For sure, we're going to have to go to Madrid. Two very different teams, but we are where we want to be, and let's see.
Yeah, and the first leg here, which makes a difference, good and bad.
It is different. It is a difference of the competition. Let's see. So we're going to have to be very strong home and away anyway, regardless who will play.
Good luck next time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
The team gave some valuable minutes to players and into the quarter-final. Sum up tonight.
Yeah, it's very happy. Obviously, unfortunately, we haven't managed to win the game. This is what we wanted to do. It's true that we make a lot of changes, and in the second half, you could feel that we look tired. A lot of players haven't played enough minutes to sustain the level that we had in the first half. But overall, where we are, where we want, we know that we have to travel to Madrid. We don't know against who yet.
I was hoping you were going to watch and wait. The players are watching right now, huh?
I was watching as well. I was watching.
We do have a deadline or you get a fine, so apologies for that, viewers. I've got to talk to you about some of those performances. Raheem Sterling involved in both goals. Disappointing for him then. He will miss the quarterfinals. But a performance like that, what can that do to a player that hadn't really found his feet yet in this Arsenal side?
Well, that's what they need. They need minutes, they need exposure, and today they had it, and they show again that we can trust them and we can play them anytime. The same with Alex. Jakub hasn't played. Ben, you can tell in the second half that he hasn't played for many months as well. So very good to see the boys. Give them a chance, and they responded.
Zinchenko in that role he loves so much, playing for Ukraine and really pulling the strings. It's a nice backup when Ødegaard can't fit in there. Really strong performance.
Yeah, it's a position that obviously he played in the past, not so much with us, but he's got the quality to do that. The goal he scored, it was great.
Declan Rice, unfortunately, the yellow card. Did you think it was a yellow card?
I don't know. I haven't seen the action back, so I don't know.
But it means that potentially if he gets another card, you could miss the second leg of the quarterfinals.
That's not good, and we already lost Rice, and we had a few in contention, so we need to be very careful with that.
A very strong performance with a heavily rotated side. It was an emphatic victory in the first leg. The big question, can you follow that back up now against Chelsea? Do you believe you can, with rested players, come back and find the performances you've had in the Champions League, in the Premier League, that's been lacking?
That we have to do. And Sunday we have another great game against a very difficult opponent. Rest well, prepare the game well, and I'm sure we're going to be flying again on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
So Arsenal will take on Real Madrid in the quarter-final, first leg at the Emirates, April the 10th. That should be a thriller. Just to confirm then, our other ties, PSG v Villa, Barca take on Dortmund, and Bayern up against Inter. We're going to take a break.
In the Madrid derby, and Atletico lead Real Madrid by 1-0, so it's 2-2 on aggregate. Owen Hargreaves, Karen Carney watching with me. What a start from the home side, Owen, and Conor Gallagher in 27 seconds puts his side in front.
Yeah, and they needed it. They need a goal. One long ball, Asensio wins it. The Real Madrid midfield's not there. Griezmann and Gallagher do great. Combine, get the ball out wide to the port. And that's Simeone there, and Gallagher just comes in from that left-hand side. That's brilliant. But sometimes I think, Karen, it's as simple as winning second balls.
Yeah.
And then get the ball out wide, and then you get numbers in the box. Real Madrid a bit disorganised. But Conor does so great just to get in there. If he doesn't make that run, he doesn't score. Absolutely brilliant from great awareness, good finish, and the perfect start for them.
Yeah, what an amazing moment for Conor Gallagher personally as well. He's the first English player to score in a Madrid derby, and it's also the fastest goal from an English player in Champions League history. Just an amazing moment for him, Karen.
It was. I think we all smiled in the green room, didn't we, when it happened to him? As we mentioned, both Jude and him starting tonight as English players, so it was great for Conor to get his moment, and great move for him as it's panning out.
Since that goal, what have Atleti done to keep it like this?
Well, we mentioned at the start of the show how they were pulled apart last week in the first leg. Tonight, they've stayed connected and always doubled up, and people have always had each other's back straight away. If we pause it on here, you see they're just connected. Width for the 18-yard box, 4-4-2, always staying compact. every little move that Real Madrid have, they're up to the ball, and they force Real Madrid to be really, really slow. It's quite comfortable for Atletico there. As soon as it goes into the wide areas again, you know, there's backing people up, goes out to the left-hand side eventually, and they have the numbers in there. Again, goes into feet, but they're just connected. Now, Conor Gallagher, I think he's been the best player because the off-the-ball work. You know, Rodrigo or Vinicius Junior's wide players haven't had the 1v1 moments, and they're the bodies back. But even on the wide there's 3v2. There's no way for Real Madrid to break through tonight, and he's tactically saw what happened last week and made amends of it tonight.
We're yet to see a spark from Vinicius Junior, Mbappe or Jude Bellingham, Owen, but with players like that in your team, and even Rodrigo as well, it can come at any time.
Well, of course it can, but to be fair, there's 9 defenders there, so it makes it really hard for them. To be fair, Atletico could have had a second. They've been the better team and need a second goal. But Real Madrid need to play forward, get forward runners, and then cause Atletico a bit of trouble.
So far then, we're all square in the Madrid derby, 2-2 on aggregate, but